Whoop. It sounds easy, posting content, yet something that you're struggling with, and it's that thing that you keep avoiding. Like the last thing on the to-do list, it's just getting pushed and pushed and pushed until it's kind of just never done. And last week, I shared a video with you talking about all the latest content trends, understanding human psychology so you can always be ahead of the curve. So you know what to create, you know how you should be creating it, yet we're still not doing it. The first reason why that's probably happening is because of procrastination. But the reality is, with procrastination, we have to understand what's under it. Why are we pushing that back? Number 2 is excuses. So if number 1 was the thing that's stopping you, I want you to comment that below. If making excuses like the ones I'm about to mention is that thing that you're noticing that is keeping you from actually creating the content, I want you to comment number 2. The excuses can be something like, I just don't have the right equipment yet. I'm waiting for that mic to finally come in. Or maybe, what are people going to think? Even things like comparison. You start consuming other people in your industry and you think to yourself, well, I can't create until I'm on that level. When you're comparing yourself to someone who's 2-3 years down the line and you're not even on day 1. Or the fact that you're always putting stuff before it because there's always going to be things that are more important. And that's when we jump into point number 3. Time. You're saying that you just don't have time. If that's you, comment number 3 below. The reality is that it's that. Other things are always more important because you're making time for other things, yet creating content isn't something you're even blocking space out for. But it could be because you're not even giving it the value that it deserves. What if I told you that making a video has made me more than $1,000? Or let's say that down the line you'll post a video and that'll bring in more than $5,000 in sales. That makes you look at it completely different. That makes you give it the importance that it actually deserves. Most of the time, we don't see it as important, or we'll say, yeah, I'll get to that later, because right now we're giving value to other things ahead of that. And then comes my favorite of them all. It just sounds too easy, right? But in reality, if it were too easy, then everybody would be doing it. And that's what we're realizing in this video, that it's actually not that easy because we found ourselves avoiding it, struggling it, leaving it for last on our list. Well, how are we actually going to stop doing that? And for a few of you, this is when ads come into play, right? Paid media, advertising on any platform that you're using, because you think, well, I don't have time to constantly create, but if I just put in some money to the content I've already created, well, that's going to help me continue to grow my business, and that's going to basically do the work that I should be doing, creating new content. The reality is that content isn't like that magic trick that you're looking to find in any video about creating content. Let me explain it to you this way. If your organic content isn't working, your paid content isn't going to solve the work for you. And so you fully understand what I mean by this? Let me explain it to you this way. I went camping for the first time. I'm a Florida girl. We normally don't need campfires in Florida because Florida, just as it is like walking into a campfire when you go outside. I went camping for the first time ever and it was freezing. We definitely needed a good, big, warm campfire. Well, the girl who's never started a campfire before, I got the wood, then my friend brought this liquid, I forget what it's called, but he's like, this is the magic trick. This is what's going to get this campfire to fill up this huge space that we had when we were camping. So we start putting the wood, we throw in the liquid. Guess what? That doesn't work. That liquid wasn't like the magic problem solver. You needed to light the fire. You needed to wait until the fire actually spread out, the different wood that we had spread out amongst the space. We literally had to wait. And then once the fire had kind of picked up a little, that's when you would throw in this liquid, and then boom, you would have this huge campfire. That's exactly how content works. Your organic content is that wood with the fire that you're starting little by little by little, because posting one day isn't going to basically boom, double your awareness to your personal brand. That doesn't happen from one day to another. It literally takes time, a process, like the whole thing, like making sure that the wind doesn't blow it out, all these things that I had no idea how it worked. Then once that's working, you add in this secret liquid. Those are the paid ads. Once this is working, this is actually what's going to actually magnify your organic content that's already working. And then you'll reach people. So don't think that, okay, I can go without posting content. I'll put in money to these platforms and that's going to be like the organic content that I keep avoiding to create. No, it doesn't work like that, my friends. So here's what you should do. Number one, as if it's not clear already, start with your organic content. That is the most important thing that you can do. Number two, I want you to watch this video over here where we talk about the latest in content trends, understanding human psychology, which I touch on at the end of the video, so that you can always be ahead of the curve. No matter what trend is sparking this month or this week, if you understand human psychology when consuming, you can always make sure that you're creating content that people want to watch and that people will actually understand what you're trying to get across. Because spending hours creating content that people aren't going to consume, well, that's just not worth it. And then number three, to actually get this down, build up the habit that's going to allow you to stop avoiding it like you have before. First, identifying whether it's number one that's stopping you, 2 or 3. Remember, leave that comment down below. And then watching this video right here where I share this book that talks about the 12-week process, which literally I tell you how it's transformed my business. And so basically you'll create a 12-week content structure. Your goal will be to post 3 to 5 times a week. You guys decide depending on your time. And then you'll write out for 12 weeks what you actually have to get done to make sure that it's actually getting accomplished, that it's not the last thing on your to-do list, and that it's not that thing that you're just like struggling to do, because you know the power that content has. You just have to build up that habit that's going to allow you to actually carry this out. So with that process, it's helped me to actually stay consistent. So that's why I'm recommending that you check that one out, because you can actually stay on top of it for 12 weeks and you'll see the difference compared to where you are now, where it's like you're avoiding it. It's the last thing on your to-do list. After you implement it and follow along for 12 weeks, I'm sure you're gonna be in a whole another ballpark. So go check those out. You have 3 things to do. And as always, I'll see you right back here on this same exact channel next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Better listen up, we about to make it happen. So